Hello again. It's your friend, the Millionaire Maker in the Making, and I'm so happy you decided to tune in to the broadcast once again. You know, here at Regal Living, it's our intention to provide you with content that will empower you to live the most incredible life you could ever imagine, a life fit for royalty. Now, today I'm reflecting upon another most insidious dynamic that tends to wreak havoc in our lives. It is so subtle. Most people have done this or are doing this unaware. And the practice and disposition is quite dangerous and threatening to our futures, to our hopes and dreams, to our whys, and ultimately to our freedom. This that I'm reflecting upon is a shrewd trapper, ensnaring the most elite moguls to the most obscure derelicts rummaging in alleys. It lures its prey as a Venus flytrap with its exterior facade, only to unveil a most horrible end for its unassuming target. It entangles the eldest of us to the youngest. It perplexes the wise as well as the foolish. It is a taskmaster to the wealthy and the impoverished. What is it, you ask? It's the dilemma of stopping versus starting. Now let me explain what I mean here. In conversation with many people and in my coaching and counseling, I frequently come to a very important question in the midst of the developing dialogue. The question is, what do you want? I perceive it to be a relatively easy and simple question, which is why I'm frequently surprised at the difficulty people experience in answering it. What do you want? It's a simple 4 words stringed together in a melodious flow. It doesn't seem so loaded, so challenging, so overwhelming. However, in the majority of the conversations I've had, people are often stumped by this question. I've even had some coaching clients share that no one has ever asked them this question before in their lifetime, and some of them were married. That's another message and another conversation for another day. Through many of our challenges, some of which we believe have traumatized us, we learn to cope with and or accept life as it happens to us. We relegate ourselves to the punch dummy for life, getting hit on over and over with no chance for a comeback or retaliation. Life is too much, it's too big, it's too powerful for us, so we allow it to bully us into submission. Therefore, you could ask someone what kind of man or woman they want to be in relationship with, and they'll commonly go through a litany of what they don't want that man or woman to do and or be. They'll say things like, I want someone who won't be mean to me. I want someone that won't cheat on me. I want someone that doesn't smoke or drink. I want someone that won't lie to me. I want someone that won't play with my emotions. Do you see the disposition? These statements don't speak to what is wanted. They speak to what is not wanted or desired. Meanwhile, most people answering in these negative tones don't even realize they haven't satisfied the original question asked, because most of us are truly unaware and or ignorant of what we really want. I know it may seem like semantics, but this is an important issue to come clear on. I believe too many people attempt to understand what they want through the veil and filter of their pain, disappointment, frustration, dying hopes and dreams, self-doubt, fear, personal dysfunction, and love deficits. In this state, it would make sense that a person couldn't be clear on what they want. Their lives are full of distractions vying for their constant attention and creating the need to build up insulators and walls of defense. Here's what those same statements sound like to persons clear on what they truly want. I want someone that will treat me well as I deserve to be treated. I want someone that is faithful and true. I want someone that values me enough to cherish me and always be emotionally transparent. I want someone free from self-destructive habits and vices. I want someone that is honest in all things at all times. Now, do you see the contrast? These statements are about the same things, but from 2 totally different dispositions and intentions. One disposition is of avoidance and the other is of true and total engagement. Now, it will make more sense when we consider the foundation thought for today, the dilemma of stopping versus starting. These dispositions can work collaboratively, but only one of them can stand alone. First, stopping is what most people think will fix their lives. Alcoholics think their battle is to stop drinking. Drug addicts believe their fight is to stop getting high. Sex addicts think their hurdle is to stop having excessive, explicit, recreational sexual encounters or thoughts. And all of this is only part of the real issue. Stopping a thing, a habit, is simply a starting line. However, it's virtually impossible to stop a thing if that's the focus or goal. People with self-destructive habits and vices don't have them because they want the vices or habits. These things are simply taken on and accepted because it all began with an attempt to escape the responsibility of dealing with something painful or something extremely hard or difficult. It would be like saying carpenters buy hammers and nails because they love them so much. They just have to have another hammer and thousands of nails because they can't live without them. No, that's ridiculous. Carpenters buy a hammer and some nails because they serve a bigger purpose. One doesn't need the tools unless they intend to build something. So what they really want is to be able to join some things together and have them hold for a long time as sturdily and securely as possible. Or one doesn't go to a hardware store and buy a drill unless they need or want to make a hole in something. So stopping is only part of a fix. It only addresses the tool, the vice, the external measures servicing the real issue or issues. Stopping is virtually impossible without the counterbalance of starting something new, a new habit, a new way of thinking, a new way of prioritizing, a new way of seeing and spending time. Stopping without starting only leaves another huge gaping hole, and holes always seek to be filled with something. When there's nothing deliberate or purposeful with which to fill them, they tend to get superficially plugged with some harmful debris. At times, they get plugged with things that look good on the surface, but they become toxic because they never require us to look at what really needs to happen in and with us. We must recognize that starting is the only dynamic that can stand alone. You don't have to stop something to start a new habit or action. You simply need to start. Therefore, starting isn't only the most beneficial of the two dispositions or choices, but it's better because it's simpler. Starting is about what's ahead of us, not what's behind. Starting is about what we're becoming, not what we've been. Starting is about where we're going, not where we've been. Starting is about the new, not the old. Starting is about what is hoped for and or expected, not the disappointments of the past. So what new habits or actions will you start today? What new mindset will you work to develop? What new relationships will you endeavor to create and cultivate? What new places will you visit to expand yourself? What new disciplines will you adopt in this interest of becoming your greatest and highest self? What new books will you read to increase your knowledge? What will you start today that will move you forward toward your goals, your whys, your dreams, your visions, and your total freedom? Are you going to stop or start? We don't get true change focusing only on what we must stop. The power is in what we must start. So today, if you so choose, get clear on the new actions and habits you must perform daily to realize true change. And remember, it's regality always.